our boy Robert Downey Jr. Speaking of bullying, I was really kind of alienated early on in the Oscars. A few minutes in, Jimmy Kimmel decided it was time to out Robert Downey Jr. about his past struggles. It was so ugly and so not about the way we try to be supportive of someone who has faced something as horrible and life-changing and sometimes ending as addiction. And I applaud Robert Downey Jr. for what he's been able to do as far as being a very public addiction. This is a guy who won his first Oscar when he was 27 years old. Like, okay. And what did you do when you were 27 years old, Kimmel?
Welcome to Cool Life Podcast, brought to you by therealthingdating.com. www.therealthingdating.com.
Polydor Records for out scouting. This girl grabbed my bangs and ran my head right into the speaker.
Oh.
And everyone here like this, yeah.
When we shot the scene in Good Will Hunting, I didn't know who most of these people were at the time. I mean, they weren't stars. It was Gus Van Sant that directed it. Gus Van Sant was on the floor with Matt Damon's character. I didn't even know who Matt Damon was at that time.
I'm Eva John. I'm a former candidate for local government. I was a children's television entertainer, and I love this world, and I believe we should take care of each other and have a lot of fun along the way. Welcome to Cool Life. Here we go.
And welcome to the Cool Life Podcast post-Oscar show with Jon Stewart as our guest again, composer, musician, performer, recording artist, singer-songwriter. Welcome, Jon.
Thank you. Welcome, Eva. How are you today?
Fantastic. Always exciting to talk about the Oscars and entertainment.
Yeah.
So, to the business of the Oscars.
Yes.
And the glamorous, exciting night and the awards that were handed out that we discussed in our pre-Oscar show, and now that we know on the other side of it all, who won what. And so why don't we take a look at the nominations for Best Actress.
Okay, Best Actress. Nominees are Annette Bening for Nyad, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller, Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan, Maestro, Emma Stone, Poor Things.
And so the Oscar went to
Best Actress, Emma Stone for Poor Things.
I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, oh, me too.
I'm man enough to say I was wrong.
Yeah, me too.
What can I tell you? I feel that there's more in her than the performance that came out in this film. But,
for sure, yes.
She won the votes. There's no slight to her there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oscar.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I'll get my knife and fork and I can eat my words. I don't know. I know I'm not her acting coach, but.
No, I was a little surprised opposed to either Annette Bening or Lily Gladstone. I was thinking about how between Lily Gladstone and Annette Bening on how their movies were. It just seemed there was a lot more effort put into it.
I know what you mean, because
it just seemed like there's more effort into both those movies than to.
There's a lot of work that went into.
And that's not saying anything about Emma Stone. I'm really not saying that at all. You know, it's just that those two characters were so incredibly strong. It's just what I meant. I think Emma Stone's an amazing actor. So, yeah.
I think it's saying a lot about her future as a performer, and I think it's saying a lot about the fact that she does bring a lot in her work, and I think there's more to look forward to I think we will be seeing even better performances because I know she has better performances in her.
Guaranteed. Yes.
As
Yes.
I keep saying. And Annette Bening, I'm sorry I didn't get to see Annette Bening go up on stage and thank her husband, Warren Beatty. Oh,
Exactly. You were waiting for it.
yeah. And watching her turn Hollywood on its ear and
Exactly.
remind them all that there's something to a great performance.
Yeah.
And I think it would have said a lot about the kind of built-in ageism that happens, especially when women are performing, that,
Yeah.
the idea that we somehow have a shelf life. And I know it's like, oh, that's what people used to say. Yeah, that's what they used to say, but they didn't give her the Oscar.
No. That's it.
Is ageism a part of that? I don't know, because putting the performances side by side, I don't.
Well, that's what I meant. That's what I mean by that, right? That's what I mean. I mean, Naiad, like the the what it would have taken to make that all happen alone, that alone, you know, to put someone through the grueling, you know, task of trying to mimic what a champion swimmer would have done, beyond champion swimmer would have done, to put her through that and on its own is incredible, and to make it work, and to make it work on top of that, like that. And so it does seem to me like it was just a little bit surprised that that was not chosen. Yeah.
They campaign. Someone campaigned well. And,
Yeah.
I said, I'm just hoping ageism wasn't really a part of it, but it still seems to
Yeah.
be very much a part of our society when we take a look at
Hmm.
those performances and where did the votes go and why.
Exactly.
Right? So, no slight to anybody. Everyone brought really good, strong performances. It's just,
Exactly.
I feel there was something really Oscar worthy with Annette Bening.
Yeah, me too.
I
Awesome.
will say that amongst them, my favorite was not Emma Stone. And
Yeah.
I had some problems with her performance. Now, who were you rooting for to win in this category?
I was rooting for Annette Bening for Naiad.
I think that was an excellent choice on your part, and I had exactly the same choice. I was rooting for Annette Bening for Naiad, and as we see how the night shook out,
Hmm.
we were wrong. For the next category, for Best Actor. The nominees for Best Actor.
Best Actor nominees are Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo Rustin, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Best Actor went to Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer.
And for the Best Actor, that it did go to Cillian Murphy. I think the right person got their flowers.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, me too.
I'm happy for him. I'm actually really happy. I think, Hollywood could have made him wait and say, yeah, you got to pay
Yeah.
some more dues, and you're not American, so
Yeah,
back down.
exactly.
They
Yeah.
they let him enjoy that reward right away, and
Yeah.
the field was rife with huge talent all around. I know
Oh, you sure what? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
some years it can be like a little wishy-washy, but there was
Mhm.
just so much talent brought to the table. I think some things are a little bit of fallout from the post-pandemic world, projects that had been put on hold or the pandemic,
Well,
projects that
exactly. I mean, like that. People forget like how stopped the world was for how long. You know, it was a few years of everything being stopped. You know, that wasn't a few months; it was a few years. We forget about how long time was with that.
Right.
You know, yeah,
And I think a lot of projects that were on their way to be done had to be
yeah,
put on hold, gave people more time to think about how we can
yep,
make this a little bit better. And
exactly. Yeah,
mission
very true.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of really well done stuff. Amazing performances, some amazing actors. And who had you hoped would win?
To be honest, Bradley Cooper. I think Bradley Cooper has years down the line is going to become something of almost the Jimmy Stewart kind of persona. I think he's going to end up being someone like that for this generation. I think he's this generation's Jimmy Stewart. That's what I think he is.
Well,
Yeah,
I think I'm always going to love Bradley Cooper for doing A Star is Born. And
yeah,
sometimes I get the feeling that I had more confidence in him in that role from A Star is Born than he did, because what won me over was the first scene, him with that green guitar, and
yeah,
and all I could see was a rock artist hard at work.
yeah.
And I did not see the actor. I didn't see a movie set. I
Oh,
saw
exactly.
a rock and
I
roll
completely
artist,
agree.
right? And that from that moment, I'm like, okay, you have me. You have my heart.
Yeah,
I am ready to take on whatever else you're going to dish out in this movie. And it was really well thought out to have that opening scene just to show not even about the glamour, just the hard work
exactly.
of I am gonna deliver a song in the way that a rock artist would. And his band,
Yes,
a good band behind him, that was Willie Nelson's son's band, right?
right.
Was his backup band for
That's
the whole
probably right.
movie.
Yeah,
And I mean, of course, they brought their authenticity, but as a performer, seeing him completely disappear into the role of a rock artist,
yeah,
I'm always going to love and respect his work for that moment. And
absolutely.
I almost don't care about anything else, any mistakes that he makes, any bad performances, bad reviews. I don't care. And as a matter of fact,
Exactly.
I might just go rewatch that movie a little bit later just to watch that opening scene. Now,
Yeah,
as far as the other nominees, it's always good for a career to be nominated.
I
And
feel that.
with that, we'll take a little break to talk about our sponsors and supporters, and we'll be back with more Oscar talk on Cool Life Podcast with Joan Stewart.
Those lonely days of lockdowns and isolation are gone for good. Go to www.therealthingdating.com. That's www.therealthingdating.com. It's time to share. Share your time, share your life, share your love. www.therealthingdating.com. Join for free. Upgrade at any time, starting at just $5.99 a month. www.therealthingdating.com. Because it's time. You're listening to the Cool Life Podcast. We'll be back in 3, 2, 1.
And we are back on Cool Life Podcast. I'm Eva John with Jon Stewart, continuing our post-Oscar talk. And now, John, let's move on to take a look at the winner for Best Picture. And then, of course, for Best Picture, I know that people would have loved to have seen, say, maybe Killers of the Flower Moon
Yeah,
or Maestro,
maestro,
Maestro, Maestro. Would
maestro.
would have
Yeah.
been nice to see that. No, you gotta get the I.
Oh,
Maestro,
maestro.
Maestro.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what happens when you raise an Italian daughter. Yeah, you can't just
Yeah,
say things. I can't say just, hey, no, you grew up saying bruschetta, and now you find out you can't say that. I had to say bruschetta.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought my life was heading towards. So I have
Yeah.
to say bruschetta, or I have to
Brusque.
leave the room. But I thought, really, truly, I was surprised. I thought Maestro was going to win.
Yeah.
And when it didn't,
Hmm.
I don't know. I hope Bradley Cooper's going to be okay
Yeah. I
because
think Bradley Cooper's just going to be just fine.
I hope so. It's just like he had all his ducks in a row,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he did everything right. And this
Hmm.
was his baby because
Yes.
he produced and co-wrote this script.
That's right. That's right.
He brought this thing to life from beginning, middle, and end.
Hmm.
So I know it's hard to do something like that and not see all the rewards. Like he certainly got the rewards from, and here we go again, A Star is Born, right?
Oh, exactly.
Now, the Oscar went to
Best Picture, Oppenheimer.
very good for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. I'd say that they have a lot to feel proud of. They brought everything that could be brought. For me, it's a heavy
Exactly.
subject. It's really difficult, personally, to just deal with the whole idea that this is all about weapons of mass
Yeah.
destruction, ways to kill people. But
Yeah.
as a movie and coming together of huge talents, they've earned it.
Huge talents in every regard too, Eva. Like the quality behind the shoots, the quality behind the the characters, the quality behind everything in this movie. I think it really shows extremely on how putting together something like this would not be easily done. Would have to be you have to make it shine, and this is just beyond that. It's quite impressive.
So kudos to everyone involved in the film.
Exactly.
But can you also tell me, what was your favorite picture that you had wanted to win in this category?
I think would have been Killers of the Flower Moon. I like the the basis of the movie. The even though I'm not one for big, really extremely long movies, but certain movies like this where they captivate you all the way through and just hold you there. I can do a 3 hour movie like that. I'm fine with doing that. Not many movies I can do that with, but that I could. So I'd say Killer of a Flower Moon for me for sure.
Well, it was definitely a film of merit. I had a favorite, which was kind of an underdog, which is The Holdovers.
Right.
I just thought it was
Great
just
film.
a real sweet combination of excellent performances, did make you think, made you look at an era, and I think without being judgmental about itself, let us be judgmental if we wanted to. I think
Exactly.
that, yeah, that I think it brought a lot to the movies that I love about the movies. And I
Yeah.
thought it was an excellent work of art in an understated kind of a way. But in the end, the Oscar actually went to. So, John, what was your favorite movie? Oscar, no Oscar, as a little kid, what was your favorite movie? You can mention more than one, but what was your favorite movie?
Are you serious? You want me to answer my favorite movie ever?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna laugh. The Goonies.
Really?
The Goonies, my
Oh.
favorite movie ever. I love that movie. That's one of them. If I was top five,
And the
well, that
dude
was
from Goonies won an Oscar last year and was a
right.
presenter last
Exactly.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That was my favorite movie. I was absolutely at about 10 or 11 years old, or it was 12 when it came out. No, 10 or 11. Uh, I was absolutely in love with Carrie Green. I was in love with Carrie Green. I thought she was amazing, and I don't recall. I looked her up, and and I don't think she's acted ever since. I think she had one or two small roles after that, and she really hasn't. She
Wow.
just kind of did not want to act anymore, and it was interesting enough. But
Something, eh? When somebody
yeah,
looks like they're about to launch an amazing career and
yeah,
it's like, that's enough. I'm done.
yeah. Something's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But uh, that movie though, yeah, stood out for me. Like uh, a friend of mine mentions about the movie Now and Then being their Goonies, being it's like coming of age movie. Stand by Me for some has been that for them. Um, Goonies for me is a number one favorite still to this day.
Okay.
Uh, many other ones, many other movies are my favorites. But if you want to know my favorite, Eva, I gotta tell you, that's my favorite.
Wow. That's a good favorite.
Yeah,
I think in my youth, I think I kind
yeah,
of have like a couple of favorites,
yeah,
but um I think for me, a special moment was going to a movie and I was 12, but you were supposed to be 13 and older. So
yep.
in my 12-year-old mind, I thought that I was acting 13, so they wouldn't stop me from buying a ticket. And so,
Neat.
and that was so I could go and see, and totally dating myself, American Graffiti.
Wow. Yeah.
It was a long time ago. Some of you don't even know what I'm
Love
talking
that
about,
movie.
but
I love that movie.
I love that movie. And
Yeah.
I felt like I had learned something when that movie was over. I felt that I had had a better understanding of relationships, of friendship,
Yep. There's a lot of
music,
lessons in that movie, isn't there?
and maybe it's through my clouded, hazy memory. And I have my way of watching a movie and filtering it through my basically highly innocent rose-colored glasses.
Hmm.
Later on, I usually need someone else to interpret and explain to me, no, 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 that thing, that was guy, and the thing was, he was trying to, and I had
Exactly.
no idea. I'm like, what? What do you mean? But that would be so mean. And so maybe if I rewatch American Graffiti, but back in the day, if you liked a movie, you went back and bought a ticket, you saw it again. So
Yeah.
that was definitely a two-ticket movie. It might have been three for me. And another favorite that was, I'm pretty sure it was a one-ticket movie, but I loved it to pieces, was a Jodie Foster movie. A little weird. It was called The Little Girl Who Lived Down the Lane.
Oh,
And this was, I don't know what art house movie. This was a movie about a little girl, like 10, 11 years old, that
yeah.
nobody realizes that she has no adults around her. And
Hmm.
so in her town, what's happened is her guardians are dead, right? Her mom's dead. And so she's just kind of raising herself and accessing her dad's bank accounts. Her dad tried
Wow.
to, I think he knew he was dying, so he tried to prepare her for what to do, how to get the bills paid, and how to make sure everybody thinks everything is okay. And so she would just pay the bills, cook the food, clean the house, and someone finds out that she's living on her own and she has to try to hold things down.
That's amazing.
Yeah. She did such an awesome job. I do like the idea of kids being respected and understood for their great minds in a
Hmm.
small body and their ability to understand the world as well, if not better than the rest of us. Um, I do believe kids need the guidance and wisdom of adults. And so I don't 100% believe that every child should think that their utopia is all the grown-ups are gone or dead.
Yeah.
But watching Jodie Foster embody the, I think, better version of this was also an education For me, I always felt that I was learning something from movies,
Mm,
and I sit there with my popcorn and my little mind ready to find out how are we supposed to deal with this thing called life. Let the movies tell you.
exactly. Exactly.
And so we're going to take another break to talk about our sponsors and supporters. Before we do, we're going
All
to
right.
hear a John Stewart song. Now, and before we do that, John, just can you tell us what's up with you these days? I know that you are moving your band back more to your roots in Celtic punk.
This record is actually two records. So the first half, Holy Asylum, is more rock, Norse rock, Celtic, a bit of fun. It tips into almost the metal category sometimes. The current one is more of an old school folk punk, Celtic rock thing. The two merge together beautifully. This is a second half of the chapter, which has been in the works for 3 years now, but it's we're almost there. It's called Thornbird Diaries, and it's basically a story. It tells the whole story from beginning to end, and it's about life changing, about stopping and starting over, and for positive ways, of course.
Amazing.
Darkness
So
into light. Yeah.
a lot to look forward to, a lot to sink our teeth into
Yeah.
musically. And so thank you for sharing that. And do you have any exciting gigs coming up?
Yes, we do. So we are being St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
Right.
We have about approximately 4 shows coming up this coming week. We have three of those will be in Kitchener, Ontario here, closing it from 5 till 7 downtown Kitchener at Bobby O'Brien's. But I do this every year. I call it a rock and roll paddy crawl. That's what it is. So we go from place to place to place, and we
Wow.
end up. It starts on the beginning of the weekend. Fortunately, this year we have the entire weekend,
Nice.
so it's going to be a busy weekend. But we end ours between 5 and 7 at Bobby O'Brien's downtown Kitchener, and on the 17th. And yeah, it will be a fun. We're playing a lot of traditional Irish music, along with there will be a tribute to Shane McGowan and Sinead O'Connor, and this so it'll be an absolute fun time.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, who didn't love Sinead O'Connor? So
Exactly.
that's wonderful. I'm glad that you're going to be doing that. Warms my heart.
Uh,
And so with that, let's hear a song of yours called Until the Light Takes Us by John Stewart here on Cool Life Podcast.
Thank you.
Those lonely days of lockdowns and isolation are gone for good. Go to www.therealthingdating.com. That's www.therealthingdating.com. It's time to share. Share your time, share your life, share your love. www.therealthingdating.com. Join for free. Upgrade at any time, starting at just $5.99 a month. www.therealthingdating.com. Because it's time. This is Cool Life Podcast. Please remember to subscribe to Cool Life on your streaming service and on YouTube as Hellenique Today. That's HELENIQUE Today. Because that helps us to bring more cool stuff to your ears. You're listening to the Cool Life Podcast. We'll be right back. And we are back on Cool Life Podcast. I'm Eva John, continuing our Oscar talk with Jon Stewart. And in this section, we're going to talk a little bit about the winners in the Best Supporting categories. And so, Jon, to begin, could you please remind us of the nominees for Best Supporting Actor?
Absolutely. So, Best Supporting Actor: Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction; Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon; Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer; Ryan Gosling, Barbie; Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things.
So that's quite a substantial list. And I mean, amongst those, we have our favorites. For Best Supporting Actor, the Oscar went to our boy Robert Downey Jr.
That's right.
Speaking of bullying, I have to say I was really kind of alienated early on in the Oscars, a few minutes in, when Jimmy Kimmel decided it was time to out Robert Downey Jr. about his past struggles with
Like what was that even about?
It was so ugly and so not about the way we try to be supportive of someone who has faced something as horrible and life-changing and sometimes
Exactly.
life-ending as addiction. And I applaud Robert Downey Jr. for what he's been able to do as far as being a very public addiction, very public
Exactly.
downfall.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a guy who won his first Oscar when he was 27 years old.
exactly.
Like, okay. And what did you do when you were 27 years old,
Exactly.
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, I
And
know.
it's like, you know, he had a father who was a very successful actor, and sometimes there are all kinds of pressures we will never understand of walking in the shadow of somebody trying to live up to something. There are many different things on that slippery slope that could lead a person to addiction, and
Absolutely, yes.
how they come out of it is not easy, and it's a lifelong battle. And to take that as something that's going to be that you think is going to be funny, I thought it was immature. I thought it was gross. I thought it was sickening.
Exactly, I agree.
I really struggled to want to watch the rest of the show after that. It really set a bad tone. I think a little bit later on, he picked on someone else, randomly selected Hailey Bieber in a list of superficial things about Hollywood that people wouldn't like. And it's like, okay, you're not mentioning a bunch of people, you're mentioning one person, and you know, let her live her life. Maybe you're not living the same life she is. And I think there's probably millions of people that would love to be able to have their last name is Bieber and to say, wow,
Exactly.
she's living my dream.
Exactly. You know, it is true, you know. It's like there was some that would say that, oh no, this is all just promotion and stuff. That's not promoting anyone. That's not promoting one. But that's where those people who argue that are usually the people who are trying to antagonize the situation. Maybe because it hasn't. They're offended because it hasn't been their own life. They haven't done the work themselves to get there.
I don't really get it. And I understand Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
He has that cutting, biting, edgy way of drawing in the kind of humor, kind of like way back in the day when there was Don Rickles.
exactly.
Basically has that kind of acid tongue type of humor
Yeah,
that is basically humiliating and embarrassing everyone.
yeah,
But there's a foundation of truth to everything Ricky Gervais does.
yeah,
And so I believe that's what eliminates the sense of bullying. He doesn't
yeah.
simply draw on someone's weakness and attack, which is exactly what we saw last night with Jimmy
Uh,
Kimmel and
absolutely.
with Robert Downey Jr. And then Robert Downey Jr. won. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
And then, of
yeah,
course, for Best Supporting Actor, I feel that it just an important box got ticked. And,
yeah,
there's every single one of the nominees had something special for me. I think my favorite happy place moment
yeah,
in seeing Robert Downey Jr. win,
yeah,
I think, was the fact that this is someone who has risen to the top, crashed down to the bottom,
yeah.
spent a lot of time rising to the top, and it's just sort of like, are there rewards there? Are there any rewards for being the good, clean, honest guy that I am now? And it's
Yeah.
like, yes, let us tell you, there is a reward. There is an
Exactly.
acknowledgement. We see you.
Regardless of what Jimmy Kimmel says.
I'm never going to understand that. I might have to
Oh,
send him an email. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Who did you have as your favorite?
Robert Downey Jr.
Mm.
I love that guy. I think he is a fantastic actor. He just makes you believe him. He's so good.
Well, I absolutely love Robert Downey Jr. as well. And
Yeah,
I think definitely had my vote. Originally, I had like a three-way split for this category because
yeah,
I love Robert De Niro and I love Mark Ruffalo. And it would have
exactly.
been nice to see all three of them go home with an Oscar. And of course, usually only one will win in the category. And I love the performances of all of them. I just love the idea that two of the nominees came from Marvel movies. And
Exactly.
the fact that, Marvel, they did not just make those movies for turning a quick buck. It was
No,
also, I think, substantial and meaningful and fun. I think it helped to push the industry in
oh, I
the
agree.
areas of technology and wanting just a little bit more than just having someone fly around in a cape. Some of the actors really did bring a lot to the table.
The movies, whether it be like a Suicide Squad or whichever one, Iron Man, like these movies, the characters they become so alive and become so incredibly alive on a level that is deeper than what you are originally envisioning them
Yes.
every time.
I think it's been an excellent decade plus of
Yeah,
having those heroes visit our screens. Hopefully, they'll help to ignite some interest getting back into the theaters. I mean, again,
exactly.
quite often I refer to our post-pandemic world because so many things that we took for granted from the good life we were living before the pandemic, some things haven't really returned 100%. I think a lot of a lot of good actors, a lot of good producers, a lot of good production companies are scared out of their wits that people are more
Exactly.
comfortable to stay home and watch Netflix. I can order in movie popcorn to get delivered to my door.
Of course.
And so no more just burning my Orville Redenbacher on
Yeah,
the stove isn't the same as getting movie popcorn delivered to your door. And
that is
then
true.
you pick the start of your movie, whether you're using Netflix or some other streaming service,
Yeah,
and what reason do you need to go out and pay for parking and sit on a sticky seat. They're trying to make
Exactly.
more and more comfortable and a fantastic experience, but the idea of a home theater, and some people have a pretty amazing sound system and recliner seats.
Oh, exactly.
So forget I said any of that. And
Yeah.
next time you want to go see a movie, go out and buy a ticket and
Yeah,
support the industry. And after that, go see a live band.
exactly.
And so next, let's take a look at the Best Supporting Actress category. If you could let us know who are the nominees, John.
Okay, Best Supporting Actress. Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer. Daniel Brooks, The Color Purple. America Ferrera, Barbie. Jodie Foster, Naiad. Divine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers.
And so the Oscar in this category went to Divine Randall.
Well, the fact that she won as a woman of color, for one thing, is brilliant. But also, it's her sweet personality behind the fact that she won.
And it's something that I thought it's a really sweet film filled with really great performances all around.
Yeah.
I feel as an ensemble that they all complemented each other with a level of performance.
Exactly.
And I think it's really something special to see the outcome is an Oscar for Divine Randolph. So my toast goes to her. And also that she has, as a woman of color, started in a procession where she has, even right in her acceptance speech, said that she hopes that there will be more to follow.
Exactly.
Certainly very special.
Yeah.
And I loved her story. I loved her story about wearing her grandmother's glasses.
Oh, fantastic.
She played the role. I loved her story of, finding her way into the acting group in fine arts in her school.
Yeah.
And realizing that later on in her life, this would be a doorway to opportunities that she hadn't dreamed of, as she had started off as a singer. So I think that's really beautiful that she has contributed something greatly to the industry. And who did you pick as a favorite to win, John?
Jodie Foster. I can't get past this movie. I think the movie's amazing. Maybe I'm biased because I always love the Terry Fox story, and it's kind of relative in a sense. There's this powerful true story of two people, one person being the forefront of it, and the other person being the supporting. It's ironic to call this supporting actress because it's exactly what this is. Yeah, Jodie Foster. I've always loved everything she does, but this movie in particular, very, very well done. Very well done.
Everything she does. Bad News Bears. Did you like it?
I love the Bad News Bears.
Okay.
I absolutely love the Bad News Bears.
Good. Good. Okay. Someone had to. I probably don't remember Bad News Bears well enough. I'm not holding it against her, but Bad News Bears and then Taxi Driver, like
Exactly.
amazing. And so that was our look at the Oscars 2024. It was a lot of fun. And John, I can tell you right now, I really enjoyed myself and I really enjoyed hearing your take on some of the movies that we were discussing.
Same here, Eva. Thank you so much.
I want to thank you for being available and for your time and attention towards this. And so with that, we're going to end our Oscar Look Back 2024. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Cool Life Podcast. I'm Eva John. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.
And that was our show. Thank you for listening to the very end. Please remember to subscribe through your streaming service to get more access to our guest interviews. Also, please subscribe on YouTube to help support our podcast. Until next time, I'm Eva John for Cool Life Podcast. Thank you for turning me on.